Joining us from Leh live right now. Gaurav, a series of military dialogues just did not end up yielding any results when it came to de-escalation from the Chinese side as well, or for that matter to end the deadlock. Instead, there was escalation that took place at a time when the talks were on. At this point, anything and everything that China says perhaps needs to be taken with a pinch of salt by India.
It will be, but the Chinese side called for this dialogue. General Liu Lin is the Chinese forces commander opposite India in Ladakh. He's leading the delegation from the Chinese side. We have Lieutenant General Harinder Singh, the co-commander here in Leh. He's leading the Indian side. What's going to happen here is both sides will attempt to dial down tension. It doesn't suit China, it doesn't suit India. But India is not going to back down. That's very clear. India wants restoration of status quo ante before Chinese incursion, whether it's still Finger 4 in Pangong So, in Galwan, and all the way from Depsang in north down to Demchok in the south of Ladakh. So all along the Chinese forces have built up. India wants China to move back. China at the same time wants to remain up to its claim line and its new claim line, so as to say, and then wants India to enter into a dialogue. It wants to change the status of the line of actual control, which India says is not going to happen. So now it remains to be seen how the two move forward. Do they reduce troops, who are eyeball to eyeball at the LAC? Do they talk about reducing tension first, disengagement, and then gradual de-induction? So it's going to be a long process. But what happened at Galwan on the night of the 15th of June should not be repeated is the main effort of both sides at this point of time.
Right, Gaurav, stay with us right there. Kamaljeet, also stay with us. We also have Abhishek Bhalla, who's joining us live on the story. Abhishek, in the wake of the current situation that we're seeing on the line of actual control, and particularly at Pangong So, where the build-up is also happening, India has taken some tactical decisions in terms of making sure that a repeat of June 15 incident does not take place. At the moment, what are you picking up? We did hear that the armed forces also have been now given a free hand.
That's true. There are certain very crucial tactical decisions taken. One of them being that as far as this protocol of not firing was concerned, there has been a relook at it. And, the army has been told very categorically by the government that if the need be, and if the lives of soldiers are under any kind of threat and they are come under a murderous assault like they did on the evening of 15th June, then obviously following this protocols does not mean. And, if the need be, field commanders can take a decision on the ground if firing is required or not. So that's one very important tactical decision that has been taken. Other than that, it's been decided that a mirror deployment will continue wherever the Chinese are. Show of strength is what sources say is a must at this point of time. And that's the reason why, even though there has been no violence at Galwan after the 15th June clash, there are about 1,000 to 1,200 troops from both sides bang at the line of actual control, very close to that PP14 area where the clashes took place. Other than that, of course, Pangong Lake remains extremely volatile. No change in situation on the ground there as well. There is a huge deployment by the Chinese, and between Finger 4 and Finger 8, which was that grey zone, the Chinese have built up fortifications. Permanent camps have come up. Of course, their troop deployment has gone up. Similarly, on the Indian side, the numbers remain extremely high. In the last few days, there have been some jostling and some arguments, but nothing got really ugly. And hopefully after this discussion today, some kind of middle way can be found out. But in the meanwhile, the Indian Army is also exploring all military options in case this aggression continues for long.
That's right. Abhishek, stay with us. Gaurav Sawant also with us. Gaurav, if you could just confirm, there are no clashes that have broken out of June 15, but there seems to be a trust deficit at this point of time between India and China. While you have the Home Ministry holding a series of meetings as well with other stakeholders involved as well, is there any kind of a possibility of disengagement or any kind of a pullback that you foresee at this point?
So troops on ground are eyeball to eyeball. After the clash on the 15th of June at Galwan, India is at patrol point 14. India is also at, from what my sources tell me, India is at commanding heights in this area. But Chinese also stay deployed. So there is massive deployment on both sides. When it comes to mountains, whoever holds higher ground is in control of the mountains. That's age-old, mountain warfare strategy. So at Galwan, from what sources tell India today, Indian Army is strategically better placed. At Pangong So, you have the Chinese who've moved in that grey zone, as Abhishek was telling us, between finger 8 and finger 4. Also, when it comes to the ridge lines, Indian Army is at finger 4, the Chinese army, bang opposite. But the Chinese are putting those pillboxes very close to our location. So there is a very tense standoff at Pangong So even as we speak. At the same time, there are reports that there is some Chinese movement that was spotted opposite Depsang in north, and that is very close to a very crucial Daulat Beg Oldie Brigade and that airfield. In the southern part, again in that area of Chumar and Demchok, there is some Chinese movement. But again, these are areas where the Indian Army is massively deployed. But a spark neglected could lead to a situation like the 15th of June. And that is what the two generals will decide. How do you ensure that there's no repeat of June 15? And then gradually there will be this talk about moving back.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.